All right, we explained this part, the size of the punch. All right. Now, the next phase of making sure that you do not rip your coin ring, even when you're taking a quarter to a size 11, size 12. I never took it past to a 13, anything like that, but I would still use these techniques. Now, small punch would give me a lot of surface, but it'll be a lot harder to take this small coin ring, as you see, that cannot even hardly fit on my pinky, to a size 13, right? I would have to stretch this a lot more just because it's so small, all right? But a coin ring that has a little bit more size, less room, it'll be easier to get this to a size 11 after I go through the process of stretching. Okay, so this is why I'm going to pick either a 1/2 punch or a 9/11, or sorry, a 9/16 punch when doing this coin ring for the quarter, the 1962 quarter. So you want to take this stuff in consideration before you even start the process. Okay, you want to make sure what the punch is going to be. And let me talk about the next phase, which is the folding phase, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and warm these babies up, all right? I'm going to warm this quarter up and show you the example. There we go. We're going to put some heat to this. All right, got that nice and warm. Then you want to quench it. All right, remember that these quarters are not silver. These are clad quarters. So put that right in the water. There you go, quench that. The next phase is to fold it. So you take this here, it's called a reduction die. All right, say for instance, I want the eagle to show. So I'll place that like that. Or the date, let's do the date. So I have it upside down and I want to put it to my 1-ton press. And I see that right here. All right, the 1-ton press. Then you want to use a starter die, like so, okay? Now this is an important phase because this is the part of the coin ring creation that if you make a crooked coin ring, it can, you know, be like very difficult to fix it, you know. All right, so that's the first phase, the initial fold, and you'll see the difference. Okay, so you have a good fold there. All right, the high relief of the coin of the George Washington, and this is where you want to start looking to see exactly where the micro tear is going to be. Okay, right there in that portion of the coin. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next one. So we got this, how it's going to look for the 3/8. Now we're going to go to the 7/16, okay? All right, so let's go there. All right, get our eyes on that. This is on the 7/16. And I want to show you the difference in folding the coin. You gotta take this stuff in consideration when doing this. because a lot of people just, you know, buy one type of punch. You buy one type of punch, but it's good to have a coin punch machine that, or device that has more than one size, so you can play around and offer a variety: a thin, a medium, small band, medium band, or a large band for a quarter, $half, or even a $1 coin. Same thing. You want to come here, place the starter, and see how that moved. That's exactly how you can have a wobbly coin. So you want to make sure that it's nice and flush before you start. Place this right in the center and see how that moves. Right there could be, oh, excuse me, that right there could be exactly how you have a wobbly coin. So what I do is make sure I have a steady hand and balance it. Just like that. It's that easy. So let's see, can I find the opposite side? See, it's too tight. So let's do that. Gotta be careful, because I don't want to have a wobbly coin. Starter. Okay. So you want to make sure you pay close attention to that. All right. Okay, that's the initial fold. All right. You see how that looks for the 7/16. And now I'm going to heat up the 1/2 punch. The 1/2 punch, you see, you have less of George showing. There we go, heat it up. All right, put that inside the water. Okay, and now I want to bring it right over here. All right. Right there. And we want to do initial fold on it. All right, and you see how this can be folded. All right, it's not wobbly. It looks like a disc, a flying saucer. All right, and that's the 1/2. Now the last one is the 9/16. Okay, so let's light that up. There we go. All right, that's nice and warm. You see the heat coming off it. There we go. And I dropped it right in the water. All right, so now we're gonna fold this. All right. Now we're gonna have less surface, so we definitely gotta make sure, you know. Let's come over here to the 1-ton press. There we go, just like so. And see how you can place this in there to be crooked. So you want to make sure that you don't have it crooked. There we go. That was an easy fold, quick. All right, you see that? You see the difference in the 1/2 and the 9/16. All right, so these are the folds, and this is the next step in ensuring that you do not rip your coin. And depending on the size of the ring, if you want a smaller band, the 3/8, then the next size would be, if you want a little bit less or a thinner band, you want to go to 7/16 and beyond. You see the difference. But you see definitely on a 9/16 how small this ring would be. All right, so the next thing I want to do for each one of these coins is to start to use the sandpaper. The sandpaper method of making sure that this inner portion, let's go a little closer. This little portion right here, it's nice and sanded, smooth. All right. So I go through each one. Of course, I would do this a little longer for the sake of the video. Okay. Just like so. Now, when you first make the punch, you can use your deburring tool. You know, it's always recommended to use your deburring tool. Okay, right here, like that. And you want to take the silver off like this. You know. And then you want to use the sandpaper. It's your choice how you want to do it. A lot of coin ring creators do it first, and then they sand that portion. It's all about, you know, your preference. Usually after the first initial punch, you use your deburring tool, like so. Okay. And these are all clad, so that's why I'm not capturing the silver. So this ensures that it's nice and smooth. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and do this. And that helps smooth out that cut edge you just did. Now, unlike, not every coin ring creator fold this way. This what helps me to, you know, make sure that each step is done with care and I'm paying attention to it. So the next phase is doing the second fold. Okay, let's do that. Let's put all of the rings on the block. Okay. You got the 3/8, the 7/16, the 1/2, and the 9/16 punch. And what I'm showing is methods on doing each one and making sure that it doesn't rip. Okay. All right. Let's go with the 3/8. We want to put that right there. Okay, make sure it's centered. Make sure it's nice and centered. There we go, like that. And this right here, It's called the universal. All right, so we're going right over here. You want to ensure all right, just like so. Uh-oh, see that flipped up. All right, there we go. Sit. Okay. All right, like that. All right. Okay. See that fold? It's not wobbly, but it's kind of off to me. Okay, that's how a 3/8 would look. Okay, the next 7/16. All right. The 7/16. Now we do the 1/2. Just like so. All right, we see there. Now we want to do the 9/16 smaller band. All right. There you go. The bigger punch, smaller band. See how that turned out. All right. See how this thing move around. We got to be careful. I'm so close to the camera, I don't want to shake it. But, all right, want to make sure this thing is in there tight and won't wobble. And some people have another technique. They use another type of reduction die or stabilizer die. This is the only one I have that would fit my quarters. All right, here we go. All right, the universal folding cone. Okay, you see that? All right, so always check closely for tears. And let's see. Okay, none of these have any concerns so far. Now, another reason you want to make sure you pick the right punch, because we have our mandrel here, and this is the 3/8, and we see where this stopped. So think about this: if you're making a coin ring and you're trying to take it from a 3 1/2 to an 11. How much heat and how much effort is going to take to get there, right? That's after the folds. This right here is the 7/16. See how that's right now close to a 5. How much heat and effort is going to take to get that to an 11. Then you have the 1/2. You see this right here, right now is at a 5 3/4. How far away is that from an 11? Or, you know, the 1/2, as you see right now, how far is away from an 11? So you got to choose what ring size you're going to make and how much effort you want to put into it, okay? So that's why I'm going through this, because I want to make sure you understand each step when you're doing a quarter coin ring and you're trying to get it to a bigger size. I usually recommend that the customer gets a $1/2, because a $1/2 is a bigger coin. It will be a lot of nice detail. It'll be a thicker band, and you can get it to those bigger size. Quarters, as you see, the band will get a little small depending on what punch you use, okay? All right, so guys, I just wanted to take you to this point. Make sure you check out the video right here to go back to the first video, to the initial punch. Which punch are you going to choose to, first of all, make sure you don't rip the coin when you're making a bigger ring, and number two, one that shows enough detail. Let me know in the comments. Hope you got something from this video. The next phase on making sure that you do not rip your coin ring is worrying about the fold, okay? Okay, guys, I will see you next video. Take care. Peace.